Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just hit the link in the show description to support now.
Did you know this podcast is powered by Acast? Acast is the home of podcasting. For creators looking for freedom to grow their listeners and make money too. And creative brands looking for smart ways to advertise. Podcasters and advertisers in the know Acast. It's time you did too. Visit acast.com to find out more. Acast, for the stories.
Welcome back to another episode of Wrestling Around, and we're carrying on with WrestleMania 22 for part 2. This is the end of WrestleMania season, but it's been a good one. It's been a good one so far. But before we get into that, joining me is the world famous Terry Peters. Terry Peters, how are we doing?
All good, thank you. Weird week in wrestling this week, isn't it?
It's been strange, which you'll discuss in a second. Lou, how are you doing? You're joining me as well.
Very tired, Russ. My forehead was on the front row of the Thunderdome last night. So everyone got to see that. Oh, this morning. Yeah, it would have been.
Would you
8 hours ago now.
prefer forehead, so like top half of your head, or bottom half of your head?
I feel like you're more expressive, can't you? I would just look at that fantastic beard on screen.
I was going to say, your eyes aren't in it. It's nose down.
Yeah, I reckon you could make more expression to that. The forward, I wasn't even sure it was me. I had to just kind of wave my hands in the air. Quick little spunky cock dance to just make sure it was me.
Couldn't have done anything else.
Not too long before Vince kicked me out, personally.
Imagine if you did, if he was watching.
God damn it, what's he doing?
Yeah, it is weird to think that Vince has seen my face.
Yeah, well.
But a lot of people have.
Maybe it was Kevin Dunn who kicked you out because he just didn't get it.
No, he didn't kick me out. I was there the entire time.
Right.
They don't kick me out.
They don't kick you? No, couldn't they?
No. I get to the front row. I get to the front row. I stay on the front row. But this time I was too far forward.
I worry what's going to happen when the Thunderdome's no longer a thing. How are you going to go?
I'm going to have to just buy a BT Sport to watch SmackDown. I think that's the only solution I've got at the moment.
You're just going to have to stand outside people's windows and pretend you're the crowd.
Yeah, this is honestly, sometimes I mainly do it to watch SmackDown because I don't have BT Sport. Right. Sometimes I just can't have the energy. Like, it's main event, like, it was Jey Uso and Cesaro last night. You can get energized for that. But the match before was Shayna Baszler versus Natalya. Like, who gives a fuck?
I hate Natalya.
Who gives a fuck? If only WWE had access to more women's tag teams that they could spice up that division slightly. But yeah, segues on nicely, doesn't it?
You've said it now. So, Peters, you wanted to talk about the recent we're calling it Black Thursday.
I think we have to, don't we?
Come on, Peters. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Black Thursday? The release of a lot of WWE superstars.
Well, I said to you two in the chat that Samoa Joe, I think, could go, and about half an hour later that came to fruition. So, I've got Crystal Terry Peters.
Which was 25 minutes after
you also said Keith Lee.
Yeah. Yeah. I did also say Keith Lee.
Keith Lee and Aleister Black. So you've got a 33% rate.
33 and a third. Scott Steiner masters about to come. Yeah, that was 25 minutes after Lou went, so Joe won't go. So,
well, they released a statement last week stressing that he was remaining as a performer. So it took me by surprise. It gives me that feeling at the end of, like, I know it's not quite the same because those guys are out of contracts, but when your favorite football team gets to the end of the season and they release a bunch of players.
Paul McShane was the one that comes to mind.
Yeah, you just think,
I knew where you were going.
And you think, fuck it, I hate this team. And then, season starts again. You're like, all right, okay, let's get back on it. I guess it's different because these guys have signed what you think are long-term deals, 4 or 5 year deals, but it turns out they're only really 90-day deals that just have the same conditions for 4 or 5 years. I think that's always American contract law is just something else to me.
Apparently, Chelsea Green had only just signed a new deal.
Yeah.
Not so long ago.
So it's almost like rather than thinking like you're secure for 5 years, like it would be over here, it's you have those terms for 5 years. But it's like a rolling 90-day contract, which is American employment law is madness. Like a lot of normal jobs, you only have to give like a day's notice or get given a day's notice. It's very strange and very alien to us, but it's very sad.
Well, you see it in the films, don't you, when they turn up and they pat the desk?
Yeah.
Out you go.
The 3 headliners out there, obviously the Iconics and Mr. Joe.
I'm going to be slightly controversial here.
Mickey James
There we go.
is up
The
there.
only one who I've been reading the list of people. The only one who I'm actually not upset, bothered about going. He's not even wrestling out. Samoa Joe, and I imagine he wanted to leave to carry on wrestling.
Well, apparently he hasn't wrestled in a year, has he, because of injury. So I'm also half wondering. Him and Mickey James were both vocal about getting back in the ring. I'm wondering if WWE won't medically pass him. And
Well, Mickey James genuinely not asked about going. Have we missed Mickey James on TV? Is anybody saying, "Oh, I wish Mickey James"?
No, I was still surprised though because I thought
she's
kind of have a few more years then.
Yeah, she's still a big name because you would have thought she'd be a good trainer.
Yeah, well, but they've got trainers, haven't they?
Yeah.
Doing a job for everyone. Do you know what I mean? Like the Iconics, everyone's getting real upset about the Iconics.
Billy Kay's been doing some of the best work.
Well, Ross, do you know why I'm upset about the Iconics?
Because they split them up. They shouldn't have split them up. I agree that. But once
right, right. What were the worst two matches on both nights?
The tag team.
Yeah.
I
want both of those to fit perfectly.
So there you go.
But for one, Pitt and Rice asked to leave.
That doesn't surprise me. Is that confirmed?
Well, she said it in the promo. So don't say it if you don't mean it.
I saw it. That happened to Daniel Bryan as well on NXT, didn't it? Original NXT.
But yeah, don't say if you don't mean it.
Who's the other guy? Michael Tava.
But
they kicked him out, didn't they? They were like, "We don't want to win." So
is anybody? Everyone did this. Oh, Pitt and Rice is amazing when they did this promo. Everybody would have shot all over the main event of WrestleMania if it was Pitt and Rice versus Asuka. But now she's gone. She's like, they did this when Curtis Axel got released. Like they've released a new Mr. Perfect just because there's his son. The only one who I'm bothered about is Samoa Joe, and he hadn't even wrestled for a year. So is he going to be that big of a big miss? No. People can't. I hate this about wrestling. It's the same. You mentioned football. You have to have a squad list.
3 minutes.
No, but you have to have a squad list, don't you? And
I know.
People won't get used, and then there isn't enough time on every card for people to be.
Yeah, I think some of the
people have been released. Yeah. Where would you have put them on the WrestleMania card?
Well, like we just said, the Iconics would have been.
One tag team that weren't even a tag team together.
Iconics, they would have been back in.
Would they have been champions? No, probably not.
Yeah, I think they should. Why not?
Why not? They're the best tag team.
You need to You've got at the moment, right? The main feud in that division.
It's Natalia
and fucking Tamina
versus Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax.
Yeah, but they're not. In fact, the way people going on about the Iconics
in 3 minutes of a roll up last night, it was just
but the way people going on about the Iconics is like they've released. I don't know, the Edge and Christian, like the best tag team of all time, or the two absolute massive stars. No, we'll forget about them next week because they're not that important.
No, I think we could do them.
I think, listeners, what we can confirm this is Ross is a complete moron.
Why am I a moron? But what part of that's moronic? Nobody gives a shit.
No, I know that, I know what you mean. Like, no one's gonna, life goes on, bro. But I think this you've got to be disappointed for the humans involved, don't you?
You have to be disappointed, but it's a business. It's one of them businesses. Not everyone gets to do it.
It don't make sense. I don't want to watch another Natalia and Tamina tag team match. I just don't want to do it. Right?
Yeah, but then if you saw the Iconics every week, you'd get sick of the Iconics.
Yeah, people did. I get that point, but there are. If
I found them really entertaining. I always thought they were hilarious.
The world moves on.
Tag team divisions. Like, how many recognized tag teams are there in the women's tag team division in both brands?
No, I get that, and I get the women's tag team. But the way people going on about Billie Kay and Pitt and Royce is like they're the two greatest women's wrestlers of all time, and they're just not.
No, they're not. But it's just
they're not. They're okay.
I think the company's better off with them as a team than without them.
Yes, and they're funny and they work together.
They weren't getting back together. They've decided not getting back together. So
well, that was a stupid decision. So that's the first lamentable point.
Yeah, but that's one. But it's just, I just think it's a complete overreaction.
Like, I think it was
I get what you're saying.
It's the end. It's the end of the season and stuff. And like, it's happened every year, and it's only the last 2 years where it's been under the magnifying glass. As you've got more YouTube channels doing like live streams.
I think because last year was so big as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If the Iconics were on TV every week, people are like, well, the Riot Squad should be on TV.
Yeah, but the Riot Squad are on TV.
Yeah, but because the Iconics are.
Yeah, because the Riot Squad are the only tag team. Literally,
the only tag team.
No, but whoever is on TV, there's always somebody else who should be on TV.
You're not really a tag team. They're both fishnets.
But there's always somebody else, so they should be on TV.
Right. Just to clarify this point again, because I don't think I'm getting through to you. The Namina, that's what we call them now. Namina and Shia, they're still feuding, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah,
right.
No,
Don't want
but
it.
so you put
I
the Iconics in for 3 months, then you're sick of them.
Yeah, but that's fine because then at that point you can bring someone else in. But this is all that's all they've got. They've got a whole. They've split up the women's division and they took NXT out of it. I know I'm getting on a tangent now about the tag team division for the women.
No, I'm not saying that's not. I'm not saying that they booked the women's division well. I'm just saying nobody cares.
All right, say there was like WWE bought this podcast, right? And then they were like, right, do you know what? It's not working anymore, Ross. We're going to take you out and we're going to make you do a podcast with fucking Sidgwick. Whatever, right?
And I would love that.
And then you've got no chemistry. Everyone thinks it's shit. And then Vince is like, yeah, it's not working out. We're going to let you go. Would you not be annoyed because you had a podcast that was working?
No, you'd be annoyed, but I wouldn't expect the world to cry about it.
Well, yeah, because no one cares about this podcast. But you get my point, right? I just think it's just, you had a tag team that was working, split them up out of nowhere. They've kind of... Billy Kay still managed to get over. Peyton Royce seemed to struggle. But Billy Kay seems to get over anyway with a kind of comedy skits. I remember in the Royal Rumble, there's a stacked ring right now. Great stuff, right? You got to be joking me. Gets over anyway, and then it's like, oh, it's not working out.
Well, apparently,
but they're in a... it's frustrating.
I sympathise with everybody.
You let me speak, man. Sure.
Well, look, you probably spoke some drivel.
Apparently, it's because Mr. Dunn didn't get Billy Kay. That's why she's been let go.
Yeah, so I done that report. I read it on. I actually paid like £4.
That's what I
heard. It just went. The literal report was like, apparently Ken didn't like her, but we don't know if that was the reason.
Right, brilliant.
It was a lot of. It was.
That's all I heard. I didn't.
Do you know when you listen to like the Conrad podcast and Bischoff and Bruce get really annoyed at like speculation presented as fact? I read the original report because I was like, oh, this will be interesting, but that's all it said.
And that's all it said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the same in any job. People move jobs. Let's take wrestling out of it. If you're in a job and you move to a different part and you don't succeed in that part, somebody else has filled your place. You can't go back.
Yeah, but no one's filled the place. That's the point.
Well, they obviously think somebody has.
We've got
Nia
Jax.
Yeah, but they obviously think somebody has.
They're not on the same team. Natalia and Tamina. I'm getting annoyed.
What I'm saying is the absolute overreaction of all these people saying, oh my God, it's the worst day in wrestling ever. It was the same when fucking Ty Dillinger left. No one gives a shit.
Oh, yeah, I get your point. Like, it was an overreaction, but...
it was a complete overreaction. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And there's all these tweets saying, oh my God, the Iconics are so amazing. No one cares. We're not going to remember them next week. Nobody gives a shit. It's a complete overreaction. People get released. It's a job.
This is getting heavily cut.
I thought you had a good point.
Why is this getting heavily cut? Because I'm not speaking to something that you don't like.
Because you're wrong.
I'm not like...
Stop the count. You're wrong.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. People lose jobs. People get released from football teams. Rooney got released from Everton. It's a thing. Big players get released. Big wrestlers get released. Just because you think that somebody could do the job.
Rooney got sold for like 28 million, didn't he? What are you talking about?
Nobody went back.
Oh, right.
He got released and he went to America.
Yeah, but that would be the end of his contract. That's the difference between that and a spell. I tried to justify it to myself like that, but it's different because of the contracts, I think.
The contract, yeah, it sucks that everybody lost a job. That sucks. But it is a job at the end of the day, and they've got no loyalty.
Yeah.
You're telling me if AEW offered them a lot more money, they won't go. They won't use this 90 days to go.
Yeah, well, they will do, but then they've got it, haven't they? Because having 9 days, they don't have to be I don't get your point.
So I'm saying there's nobody owes anybody any loyalty. It's a business. It's a job. Not everybody gets to do the job that they want to do.
I think you can still be, as a fan, you can still be sad.
Yeah. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. It's just flat out ridiculous. There's not enough space. There's not enough spaces for everyone to talk about all these people in NXT. What did somebody say? There's 20 women on the main roster, 30 women on the NXT. They might come up. You don't know.
There's no tag teams. There's spaces. There's stuff there. There's stuff they're doing. There's stuff they can do.
We're in that season now where people move up.
They've just signed $1 billion contract with Peacock. They don't need to release people. I see it from both point of view.
You're saying they don't need to release people, but then everybody will kick off if they've kept off TV because there's enough room for them. Look at Alistair Black. It's a joke. Alistair Black should be on TV. But there's no room for him at the minute. So he'll come back and do something.
Since some vignettes.
Yeah, but if there's no room for them on TV, there is only a finite amount of TV, and they can't.
I know, and we've got Natalia and Tamina tagging as part of that, Ross.
Yeah, but but what I'm saying is, I'm not saying I agree with
Raw, which is dreadful.
I'm not saying I agree with all the booking decisions because I don't.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, there's only a finite amount of TV. So surely these people who are not on TV, what's the point in keeping them there? They've not this rightly or wrongly.
Some of them are on TV. Samoa Joe was on WrestleMania and Puncher.
He might have asked to go. We don't
he
know
won
that.
A Puncher for you. For you.
Samoa Joe is on TV, not doing what he wants to do.
Billy Kay was on WrestleMania. She got a win.
It's just. I just think it's complete over. It happens. Everybody gets released. Everyone's favourite gets released. But somehow the Iconics are the new the best tag team. It's a joke.
If you've got a tag team division with no tag teams in it, and they release a tag team,
people are going to be annoyed.
I just think it's a complete overreaction. Yeah. A complete overreaction. People think it's the worst team. Someone says it's the worst team in wrestling history. It's not the worst team in wrestling history at all.
That was last year's.
Right,
that was whenever Tamina and Natalia first tagged together. When was it, like January?
So this Black Friday or whatever it was last year, have we missed any of them?
Wednesday.
Or Black Way, whatever day it was. Have we missed any of them? No.
Yes, Ross.
Who?
I miss EC3, baby. You know this.
You want on TV anyhow?
I know, and I missed
It's a joke.
You want people to you want your favourites to get a chance.
It's a joke. It's just...
How would you feel when Paul McShane got released?
Right. It was a favourite.
Alex Bruce.
But from a footballer point, you understand it.
I could understand it. Alex Bruce has got a new contract. Paul McShane gets released. Outrageous for us.
It's part and parcel of the business.
It is.
Not everybody can have a job.
Just because it's part and parcel doesn't mean you have to like it.
I just think everyone just needs to chill out. It's not the worst day ever. They'll get other jobs.
There's one person who needs to chill out about this. You.
Yeah. I'm just sick of seeing all this shit online. I'm sick of it. It's just ridiculous. I'm not going to miss any of them. So that's it.
Well, you just said you were going to miss Samoa Joe.
Yeah, but he's not doing what I want Samoa Joe to do. I want Samoa Joe to be a wrestler, and he's not wrestling now. So I've had a year of him not wrestling.
Yeah. Chelsea Green didn't really get a chance. I know she got injured. That was unlucky.
To be fair, she was unlucky.
Yeah, but that's unlucky. So look at footballers.
Yeah, I know it happens.
People get injured.
Yeah, I know. But
it's not WWE's fault. People get injured and somebody else has stood up.
Yeah, no, but Chelsea Green was unlucky because she got injured on both debut matches, didn't she?
Yeah.
She might be, well, this is it, right?
But then that does go in WWE's thing, doesn't it? If you are injury prone, they do take note of that. I mean, I think she broke the same wrist twice, didn't she? So
I mean, I guess you're doing, just to go back on Ross's side, I guess, for a bit. I guess in any job you can't use sick days, don't you? But
yeah.
Just unlucky, you got to feel for these people involved, Ross. That's why
I do feel for them because they've lost a job, and I do feel for them. But
you don't see it from that last 10 minutes.
I'm not angry at them for losing a job. I want everyone to stay back and completely understand why they've gone. Everyone having a go at WWE, they've got to cut the quickest. Right, yeah, they've cut all these people, but they've probably signed on another 6 or 7 into NXT. They've got to keep it at a finite number. There's not enough chances. Not everybody can be at the top. It's just people don't understand business.
I think there's a difference between understanding and liking it.
I didn't realize you were doing a podcast with Alan Sugar over here.
Because I'd say something racist if I was Alan Sugar. It's just winds me up. Nobody will miss them. It's just a joke. Should we move on?
Speaking of jokes, just before we move on to WrestleMania 22, the big moment has happened to us.
Well, I wanted to bring it up first, but Terry wanted to talk about that, and I've been getting annoyed.
I've got some more news from the current wrestling world. Dave Meltzer's star reigns are out.
What,
for WrestleMania 37.
Oh, my God's sake.
There we go. So Ross and Rush.
I thought he was going to do WresaroundMania. I thought that's what you were segueing into.
No, we'll get into that in a second. This is the new segment of the weekly news roundup, apparently, that we do. So, what do you think was the highest rated match of the weekend? Bear in mind, this is Mr. David Meltzer.
Including
Seth Rollins, Cesaro.
Including NXT?
No, so I've only got the WrestleMania ones here.
Seth Rollins,
I'm avoiding NXT because I've not watched part 2 yet.
No, I haven't.
It's going to be
probably Seth.
It is the Night 2 main event. Bryan Edge versus Reigns, 4.5 stars.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Cesaro versus Seth Rollins was the joint second with 4 stars, along with Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. And quite rightly, Dave, who is on my wavelength for once, Riddle and Sheamus also got 4 stars.
Very good match.
I would say that I think Banks versus Belair deserved more.
What did
I would have given it 4 stars. I would have given it. What did he give Becky and Charlotte? 4.75, didn't he? 4.5. I just think it is.
Yeah, but then
History
you'd have to
moment as
you'd have to put the main event up because it
No,
wasn't
I don't-
as good as the second night main event.
I think no, I don't think you would. But maybe I'm going on emotion. But I think
You
that
are.
was the favorite. My favorite match from a PR wrestling standpoint was Riddle and Sheamus. I think so. Dave, well done. But I think when you include like the whole story and everything and all the history behind it, and oh my god, I'm losing my voice.
It's getting emotion, getting choked up.
Just get choked up. Get choked up. Banks and Belair for me. The most important match.
What's the worst match? Fiend versus
The
Orton.
West, yeah, that got
minus.
that was the only one that was negative. Minus one.
2. Oh.
Then the tag team turmoil.
Second worst match was the tag team turmoils were all ranked individually.
Why
Why
one
does he
match?
do that? But it'll rank them all the same, surely.
No, but they're I mean they're not. It's not very flattering. So
One.
it is the lowest. So the first one was Billy Kay and Carmella. Godspeed, Billy Kay. Against Lara and Naomi, 0.75. Then they took on the Riot Squad, that was 0.5. Then it was Dana Brooke and Amanda Rose versus the Riot Squad, 1.25, and Natalia and Tamina versus the Riot Squad, 1.75. The match the next night got 2.25.
Really?
Big E versus Apollo Crews only got 3.
Didn't go very long, did it?
And
Apparently.
McMahon versus Strowman, 1.5, which I thought was harsh because I thought that was quite a fun match.
He got what? 1.1?
Yeah, one with wrestling in it, though, was he?
No, but you don't need wrestling. You just need the banner.
No, but he don't mark it on that, does he?
No.
I heard.
Don't know why he marks it on. It's like a big figure skating, doesn't he?
The women's tag match with no proper women's tag teams in it because the Iconic should still be a team.
That's correct. Correct. Good point.
When overran by 2 minutes.
I was surprised it was only 2 minutes when I had it overran.
Yeah.
I was like, what, about 10? It's like...
14 minutes is too long.
I then wonder, is that why the drum match only got 6.5 minutes or whatever it got?
Yeah. I don't know. You did go a bit over just in general, didn't that night, I think? Second night?
No, it was at 4:30 in the morning finish. It was about the same time.
Yeah, but it was only scheduled for 3 hours, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, so I think it might have gone slightly over. Given that the night before went over, but that was because there was like a 45 delay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's...
But yeah, there were Dave's ratings. But Ross, did you want to get to the big
news? Is we've had you'll have all seen it last week, Wednesday. We had WrestleMania.
Yeah, we sure did. Let me get the results.
Which has somehow manifested into a Wrestling Around weekly wrestling show.
Well, that's it. So starting this Wednesday, tonight, as this goes out, Wrestling Around Wrestling Federation's weekly Wednesday wrestling is starting tonight. And it's involving tonight the debut of Big Metal Gorilla. We'll be waiting for him.
It was asked. People asked for him in the chat.
Yeah, and obviously after the kind of controversy of the finish, Colonel Sanders will be taking on Ronald McDonald 1-on-1. So, obviously, the new KFC champion. Congratulations to him, Samoa Joe. So he's lost his job at WWE.
He's got a new job already.
But he's in the Wrestling Around Wrestling Federation as the KFC champion. He's getting a push. So.
The big news though is our very own Ted Peters. He lost his Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, he lost. It was
to Randy Hogan.
It was well, I didn't realise that the Randy Hogan call that we had was at weight 100, so it did turn out to be an unfortunate squash match. Didn't get out of the cell.
What was Ted Peters rated?
Didn't get out of the ring. 86, which was standard.
86, mate.
That's a good rating. That puts you. But Randy Hogan.
Crap. They're all like 90 plus, aren't they? Apart from like Tyson Kidd.
No, it's the default rating because I didn't change anything other than just Ted Peters. Who else won? Bam Bigelow beat the Sandman in the anticipated rematch.
Yeah.
Team Rikishi beat Team Viscera in ended up being a tables match?
It was a tables match, yeah.
Team Foley beat Team Kane in a 6-man Hell in a Cell. There's 2 Hell in a Cell matches. Go big. Samoa Joe beat Colonel Sanders for the KFC Championship with interference from Ronald McDonald. That was shocking.
To be fair, Colonel Sanders' crew, Business Pig,
Business Horse,
Business Pig,
and a chicken that lost its head. It was just a chicken bone by the time the match started.
The drumstick. It's called drumstick when I drummy.
Yeah, drumstick. Remember that's why. Remember that was the gimmick. I thought the game glitch, but that was the gimmick there.
Yeah, they did not do anything for Colonel Sanders.
Didn't help, no. But obviously they'll be the business animals will be going to the tag team tournament. They're taking on the
tag team division.
Yeah, they're taking on the Good Brothers in the first round of the tag team tournament. So that'll be.
If you're writing these down, you've got like.
I'll listen back to this. Papa Shango beat the Godfather and Cameron Stafford in a 4-way cage match.
So that's I think. What do you say? Papa Shango is Charles Wright's best alter ego.
He got his highest push for that because he was in the main event of WrestleMania, wasn't he? As an interference that he turned up late for.
He missed the cue, didn't he?
And in the semi-main event, Bob Holly beat Bob Ross to win the Bob in the Bank briefcase.
That was a shock. That was a shock for everyone.
That was a shock for everyone. Because Bob Ross was on top, wasn't he? But
Bob Ross messed it up,
he missed his cue. Couldn't get a briefcase off.
What next for Bob Ross said?
But surprisingly, Meltzer gave that one 5.5 stars. Yeah, it was shocking.
Will Bob Holly cash in his Bob in the Bank?
Well, he can do, yeah. He's I've actually set it up to like AI cashing, so he can do it anytime. We don't know. Anytime Randy Hogan's in the ring.
Imagine how annoyed would you be if Bob Holly was the new champ?
Yeah, but we'll see. Terry Peters has got to start his redemption story now to get back into that main event.
Yes, he lost clean. It was clean, middle of the ring.
We're on the road to WresaroundMania now.
It's a thing. It's a thing. I'm sure we're going to introduce the tag team.
So
you missed out the Henchman Battle Royal.
Oh, the Henchman Battle Royal was won by Arn Anderson.
Of course it was.
Yeah,
the daddy of all henchmen.
So he won the Henchman title, which was the ECW title at the time. But I'm pleased to announce that on Wednesday,
there'll be a belt reveal.
He will be receiving his brand new Henchman title.
So we've got
it's a stacked card.
We've got the henchman title.
Yep.
Do you have to be a henchman? What classifies as a henchman?
Yeah, you just got to be a big lad.
Henchman title. We've got the KFC title.
KFC title, and then there's the wrestling
championship. Are we gonna have a tag team title?
Tag team titles, yeah. The tournament is starting now. So as I say, first round is the Business Animals versus the Good Brothers.
Right. Well, what other tag teams are going to be?
And then there's no women's match on the card, which is disgraceful for me. But,
it is awful for us.
But we'll do so with the women's soon again.
Probably get a title for them.
There's going to be a title for everyone. You have a title, and you have a title like fucking Oprah.
You know what I mean? It's so join us on Wednesdays. Where are we going to have the Wrestling Around Thunderdome? Is that the thing?
No, it's live from Hull City Hall, the weekly show.
Right. There we go. So join us on Wednesday for that. It's a shame we didn't record Wrestling Around Mania. People need to see it, I think.
Lost to the archives. I have to start turning video on demand on.
There's going to be a way of doing that, isn't there?
You can turn video on demand on, but the problem is, Ross, I read out most of the message in the chat, and Aaron Franklin joins us on a weekly basis.
Yeah, is the chat on the video on demand?
Well, it'd be me reading it out at the very least. Yeah, there's a chat replay, isn't there?
There's a chat replay.
Yeah, so
best not to do that.
No video on demand. It's true and live or you miss it.
So best for Terry Peters not to watch the chat.
I can only imagine what that is.
To be fair, Terry Peters,
the crowd was split 50-50.
You didn't turn up for your own match.
Busy one, eh? Right, shall we go back then to WrestleMania 22?
Is that our longest intro ever?
I think so. We've added a weekly section of the news. So.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it's Ross's longest intro ever because that's all we've heard throughout it.
Well, I had some points that needed to be said and the world needed to hear.
News roundup.
That's it for the news.
Only.
Yeah.
You got to voice your opinions, which is wrong. So we'll move on then.
We're bad now. You just gotta get the last word, don't you? Oh, they're wrong. Move on.
Smart, man. That's why I'm here.
How do we kick him out?
The show'd fall apart about me. Giving an opinion. We'll move on then. WrestleMania 22. If you haven't heard the first part, listen to last week's episode where we got up to the Mickie James and Trish Stratus match. Some good stuff in there. Good, the old finger lick that we didn't see because it's been kicked off the network. Yeah. So I'm going to open this show with a tanned and oiled Vince. Tanned and oiled Vince McMahon.
Bit orange.
He's backstage with the rest of the McMahons. So we've got Stephanie, Linda, and Shane.
Heavily pregnant, Stephanie.
She is. Yeah. Is this a first kid? I don't know how many kids they've got.
Yeah, was this I can't remember if this was the first one where there was, because obviously they're not married on TV at this point, are they? But there was a lot of jokes about Triple H knows who the father is.
Right.
There was one Raw, it might have been this year, where it was just shot because there was the whole DX and the Man feud.
Yeah, the first one was born in 2006.
Yeah, so that was this one. And there was one Raw where Shawn Michaels, we should say, basically on his own out of that storyline, and he just kept making jokes about, I don't know why Triple H has gone.
I seem to remember Todd Grisham coming out and announcing that one had been born during Raw.
Yeah.
Quite a self-indulgent thing.
Todd Grisham. Basically, they're all backstage and they're having a prayer because this is the prelude to the God fight.
And Vince McMahon goes, I know you're pregnant, but you're getting down anyway.
What's wrong with Vince? He's not even that old, is he? He's just a seedy. Tanned and oiled, man. He was oily, wasn't he? Is this the best Vince costume? Do you like?
This is like the one.
The vest, or are you a fan of the oversized T-shirt with the elbow pads?
No, I'm a fan of the sleeveless referee shirt.
He's 61.
It's got a real high collar for some reason.
He's about 60 years old here.
Yeah, which is similar to the same age as Sting. No, I was shocked to learn that the Iron Sheik and the Gimmick Battle Royal was only like 58.
I was 37.
Yeah, but still. So when we said that wrestlers go on for longer now, Vince was the start of it.
Yeah, he's in good shape for an old man. To be fair, isn't
he?
Yes. So then we'll go on to a streak match. It's Undertaker versus Mark Henry. Mark Henry basically says, "I'm gonna end the streak." I think this started talking about the streak right about now.
Is this the Hall of Pain?
No, that's a couple of years later.
The streak was mentioned for the first time the year before when Randy Orton was fighting him at 21.
They heavily mention the streak, don't they, throughout this match?
Yeah, but I think this is the first time of like it becoming the second time Randy Orton's the first. It's become like a real thing.
Big thing.
So basically, Taker and Angle have been having a feud over the title, and Mark Henry's got involved. That's the basis of this feud. Now they're having a casket match, so we get the Druids bring out the casket, and I always want to see Bob Orton as the Druids. We've all seen it. It was on SmackDown. Must have been SmackDown. Where he brings out the thing, then Bob Orton's hits him with the end.
Yeah, it'll be that feud, right? That went on for like a year, wasn't it? Yeah, it just been before this because that feud ended at Armageddon.
Yeah,
before, didn't it?
Yeah. And this is it was only 9 minutes. It's not one of his greats, is it? Taker?
I think this was. I was thinking on this. I was saying that this was the last WrestleMania for a lot of things. One being that it was the last one in Arena. Also, I think it was the last WrestleMania for about up until WrestleMania 30, where Taker didn't have the best match on the card or one of.
He did some impressive stuff in this match, though, didn't he?
Yeah, but it was just a bit. It was the last one of like Taker's just kind of big and like random big lads at WrestleMania. After this, he kind of went on to like working really good matches with good workers.
Yeah,
I know. I can see we can. Then he did some. He last rided Mark Henry.
Yeah, he did.
Which was annoying.
Didn't know, did he?
Because Mark Henry has never done the corner punch. Never. I don't think he's ever done it since.
It was an impressive feat, though, wasn't it?
It was an impressive powerbomb, but Michael Cole goes, "He's done the last ride. He's done the last ride." And Ted's like, "Well, kind of." Just sort of.
He just kind of pushed him off a bit, didn't he?
Straight back to it. It was impressive though, and the dive over the casket as well.
He loves that, doesn't he? Taker. He loves a dive at WrestleMania.
The casket reminded me of the one that was shaped for the one for Kamala as well.
Well, it's going to be a big casket, I think.
It was a big lad casket.
It was a good traditional shape, though, wasn't it, of a coffin? It was nice to see it. Though. I actually wrote that as a note.
Did anyone notice the comical noise of it creaking when it opened and shut as well?
Yeah, I love it. I love that it gets its own entrance as well. I'm glad for that.
It needs some music, like the cage. When the cage is
the Druid's going to go, oh,
well,
yeah. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, actually, that's what it gives you a vibe that you're actually at a funeral for some reason. Like, it seems like you're at, when the casket comes out and all the Druids are, even though you know it's just like random, what would it be at this time, like OVW and FCW wrestlers, you still kind of stand to attention, don't you? Being like, pay your respects as a casket coming out.
Do you think it should have like a video package of like people getting slammed shit in the casket?
Or like it's over the Titan channel.
Yeah.
No, because then they'll change its gimmick after a while. Like it's not working, and like they'll have a fucking dancing coffin coming out or something like.
And then
is on a roll, and just fucking coffins just coming out. Like,
and then they'll release it.
Well, if it's done all it needs to do, it'll get released.
Yeah, they will miss it because they'll release the casket, and then they'll have a fucking, I don't know, just big box match or something, or box like structure match instead.
I'm all for that.
Let's get a dumpster match. It's the same thing, isn't it?
So Taker is the tombstone, rolls Mark Henry into the casket. Taker wins 9 minutes. It was all right, wasn't it? It was inoffensive.
He could have done with some like just for bands because he does it all the time. Just Taker could just set the casket on fire or something, couldn't he, for a laugh?
Did we want to kill Mark Henry?
Well, they always do it, don't they? This is a guy who's kind of covered someone in concrete.
I'm surprised that Taker won because he never wins casket matches, does he? Not buried alive, actually. No. He always loses, doesn't he?
Big Dave did not look kindly upon it.
I didn't think he would.
1.5.
Do you know what? I think that's why I'm excited for this match.
Yeah.
It was just the last one that was, and it wasn't like when Mark Henry was doing his good stuff. This wasn't peak Mark
I
Henry
quite
by
like
any
Mark
means.
Henry's music in this.
He's only just come back. This
Yeah.
wasn't the 3-6 Mafia, though, was it? That's
No,
his best
it
music.
reminded me of the ECW theme tune. This one,
Yeah.
yeah, the Paul Heyman ECW.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was
only
alright, but
just
yeah,
come
after
back.
this, he goes to Batista next to me. Then he's got
Yeah.
Edge, Michaels for 2, Triple H,
Triple
CM
H,
Punk. Like
yeah.
he's got a ton of good ones after this.
Put a pin in CM Punk. Though.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think Mark Henry, he was made by Davari at this point.
Oh yeah. Because this happened. Because then he was like, "Oh, you're shit now." So here's the fucking Greg Kelly. That was the next.
Davari was managing Kurt Angle. He brought out Mark Henry. I'm pretty sure Eminem brought out Mark Henry. There was something there. And then Mark Henry lost, so he said, "Oh, great Kelly, come on." I think he must have debuted shortly after this then, Kelly.
Yeah, I think he was definitely around 2006.
Then he got scoop slammed by Kane at the next WrestleMania.
What a moment!
We're all remembering it. It's exactly the same as Hogan and Andre.
What was that happened at WrestleMania? It was
Tamina and Nia Jax.
Tamina and Nia Jax on it, yeah.
We'll remember that in 20 years.
Yep.
The next match then is a no-holds-barred match. It's Shawn Michaels versus Vince McMahon. Vince, I've worked on here, he's 60, and he's got his muscle and fitness cover. He unveils it.
I love that.
Oh, yeah.
That was great.
You know what I mean? Fair play to him. The man's in impressive shape.
No, I just loved how he did it. The reveal was just, I actually laughed out loud when he revealed it. It was just...
Apparently he goes to like the gym at like 2 a.m, doesn't he? Like he just does. The man just doesn't seem to sleep.
But that was on. Have you ever listened to Jericho's Broken Skull Sessions? That was one of his stories, wasn't it? Where they've been drinking all night, and Vince said, "What are you doing? Go to the gym." Jericho's like, "No, it's 5 o'clock. I need to get up." At 7. Then Vince takes me a picture working out.
Still isn't out, isn't he?
Jericho
Yeah, that's what
I'm
I mean.
sure...
I haven't even heard that story, so I've not watched the Broken Skull session.
It's worth watching. Terry
I need to watch it.
I'm sure I saw like a video of Vince like doing like a deadlift or something the other week, and he must be in his late 70s now.
He's 75.
75, yeah, mid
70s.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah, just doing deadlifts and like working out his neck. Man's working out his neck.
I love that picture with a chain around his neck.
Yeah, I love it.
that's the best Vince picture. Oh God. This match went 18 minutes. I was going to say it was a culmination of the feud. It was not.
No,
Culmination of the singles feud because God got involved later on. Didn't he? There's a run-in by the Spirit Squad.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I tell you what, he took a nasty hooky bump from the Spirit Squad, didn't he? The old sort of leg and a wing style thing.
Yeah, well, that's how they beat the Big Show and Kane.
Yeah.
When Kane went
That
crazy.
was the next night, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Shawn Michaels beats all 5 of them up on his own. Yeah, 5 beat Big Show and Kane.
Yeah,
because he uses like the megaphone thing, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I hated the Spirit Squad.
I didn't like the Spirit Squad unless they was getting thrown out by the ref.
Yeah, I hated them at the time. I mean, I know you meant to. I remember that they debuted there, like winning a match with Coach, didn't they?
Yeah.
The Royal Rumble qualifier against King.
Yeah.
To me, it's a good idea. I didn't think it was a bad idea. It gets 5. I like big factions.
Yeah, it was, faction, but
You'll enjoy Wednesday nights then.
yeah.
It brought us what did it?
Brought us Dolph, didn't it?
Dolph
So actually,
Ziggler, yeah.
I
Brought
hate
Dolph
it.
and Kenny Dykstra.
I used to love Kenny Dykstra.
He was the one that everyone thought was going to make it, wasn't he?
He was like the main one, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He came out. He went on to SmackDown. He didn't really do anything.
Yeah, he almost came up too soon, didn't he? He basically returned the next week, didn't he, and tried to join Edge and Orton.
He's really young though, isn't he, as well? Even now, he's still really young.
Incredible leg drop.
Was he not married to a wrestler?
He was going out with Mickey James for a bit.
Was he going with Mickey
He's
James?
only
She's married to
35
Nick Aldis
now.
actually, yeah.
He's only 35 now.
35
Christ.
now.
Yeah.
So this was 50 years ago. So he would have been 20, wasn't he?
20, yeah. Can't even drink.
I hate young successful people.
Yeah, the worst.
He's formally engaged to Mickey James, apparently.
I thought it was, yeah.
There we go.
There's a great line from the King as well about the Spirit Squad where he calls them jock strap sniffers.
I hate King. Every more I watch our King, just the worst I think he is.
This isn't even his worst bit, but JR gets involved with that as well, but we'll get to that in a bit.
So the Spirit Squad, Shane comes out and joins the Kiss My
Still
Ass Club.
sweaty.
Yeah.
Still sweaty.
It is. It's a long ramp, wasn't it? It's a longish ramp.
And he's wearing a suit, isn't he?
Yeah. He joins the Kiss My Ass Club.
This is
When
a
Vince
beautiful
is
moment.
doing that, he looks like Mr. Bean or something. Doesn't he,
God.
moving his arms about?
Imagine
facial expressions, like it's his own son's. I was surprised that he couldn't tell. Like, can you? I don't know. I mean,
Hang on, where are you going with this comedy?
could you work out if it was? You kind of knows what Shawn Michaels looks like. He knows what Shane McMahon looks like. Could he have not worked out by the imprint of his ass?
I don't think so. Unless Shawn had a beard. If Shawn had a beard, then yeah. But
There's one way to find out, Interloo.
Right,
Maybe
okay.
the adrenaline's running through.
You two can join the Terry Peters Kiss My Ass Club. And,
Absolutely. I'd rather
shit
in my hands and clap than join that.
We could arrange that as well.
That would be the worst moment of my life. I said, just blow it all out.
Right,
it's
next triple
A. Shane then gets handcuffed to the rope. I hate the handcuffs that they use. Nobody ever makes handcuffs that are as long as the one. Do we know what the worst one was? The Usos against the New Day in Hell in a Cell, where the handcuffs must have been about 2 meters long, so they could hang him from the rope. What is the point?
The ones at Royal Rumble this year as well that didn't open.
Yeah, well, he couldn't find the keyhole, could he?
No, I didn't get any.
That's the
wire
point.
cutters nearby, which was you need some wire cutters nearby.
So Shane's handcuffed to the ropes, but Union gets beat up. I like Shawn Michaels doing the old Shane O'Mac kendo stick swing.
This is when Shawn Michaels is like still in quite his comedic phase as well, isn't it? As well as his.
Yeah, well, the DX starts soon after this.
Yeah,
and it's just dick jokes and all.
I was marking out as a child.
I remember as a kid.
I marked out a lot for the crotch chop in this.
I didn't see the original DX, so my DX was X-Pac Road Dogg Billy Gunn. When they got back together, I was just like, well, this isn't the one I want. This isn't DX.
I was really excited.
It being really strongly anticipated. I would have been, at school, like year 10 or 11, I think. I remember it being very strongly anticipated.
What would I have been when this came out? 13? Something like that.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah, I guess DX are back, but I don't care for him.
No, I was really excited.
It was fun. The first go around was fun. Wasn't it? Well, I liked all the DX ones, even when they got back together again. I know everyone hates.
I've not seen that one.
Is that when Hornswoggle joined?
Yeah.
Hornswoggle ruins everything, didn't he?
Yeah, there was some daft stuff, but they also got that skit where Shawn Michaels was a chef, so it was worth it for me.
There we go. Well, so we got then. There's an unprotected share shot on Vince.
And he gets
an unprotected ladder shot as well.
And he gets his unprotected muscle and fitness cover through the head as well, doesn't he?
Yeah. Does anyone think that this part of the match goes on a bit long?
Yeah.
Like, it almost seems like he's just being up an old man. Well, he is.
Well, he is.
He is.
He's been putting Shawn Michaels through a lot of pain, hasn't he? And Shawn Michaels is a big Christian, and he's taking the piss out of.
Yeah, I feel like if you're ending the feud with this, then maybe fine. But it just it's the same one with
They ended the singles feud.
Is it Bret and Vince at the time? It just goes on for ages, doesn't it? And I think the idea at first was for Vince to get sympathy and write him off TV. I don't know if they would try to do the same here and then change their mind.
Vince and Lashley, that went on for ages as well.
Yeah.
Far too long.
It's almost like it's just too much, and then you think, come on, you're just beating up an old dude now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, you've lost them. I get that he's kind of putting through a lot, but he's lost them all high ground, if you know what I mean. That's what it seems like when you're doing this kind of story.
Yeah, but he put a ladder up, didn't he? He climbs up it, and then he gets another one. Just get the bigger ladder. Get the ladder, stand it up, and think, no, that's not big enough. You don't have to waste time climbing up and climbing down.
Yeah. I know that part I was fine with. It was more just that there was just attack after attack after attack where he could have pinned him.
Oh God, that's soft gone to pot here. He's smashing it up.
This match obviously to Shawn Michaels and God versus the McMahons.
Yeah,
and well, Dave Meltzer gave it 3.25 stars. But he's put it down as a no holds barred tag match.
Oh, the God match. I thought it was this
match. But he's not even put it down. Yeah, the God match, but he's not even put God down. He's just put versus Shawn Michaels.
Well, that's why it was built.
He put it down as a handicap tag match.
That's what. Well, it was, wasn't it?
No, God was there. It was a tag match.
They didn't get tagged in, did he? How can you tag somebody in who's got arms?
It's Tornado Tag Rest.
Tag a light in, didn't it? He gave this 3.5, which I think is a bit harsh. But I can imagine.
Sure, this won PWI's Match of the Year.
Yeah,
this year.
Yeah,
which is odd. Yeah,
the finishing spot as well with the elbow to Vince just casually laid there in a trash can as well. Yeah. He's brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Vince is 60 and he says, "Yeah, Shawn Michaels, you jump from that 20-foot ladder."
Yeah, but it's just that one where he was bleeding profusely. He was at the ladder that hit him in the head when he was the blood was gushing out.
Yeah, but he won't make you do anything that he wouldn't do, and he'll do a hell of a lot of stuff. As we saw at WrestleMania 35 with Rob Gronkowski.
Yeah,
in a suit diving from the platform.
The man is an absolute freak, isn't he?
Just not like it's no problem at all. There you go.
Do you know what I don't like though? So he does that elbow drop through the table on the trash can, and then he gets up and switches music to just finish it with the elbow drop. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I hate that when they do a massive move and then they get up and they do a regular finisher.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I just think that I thought the ending just went on a bit too long, but the whole match in general, I just took another take because Vince is just hilarious.
Well, Shawn attacks medical staff because I think the whole thing is he's lost a plot and it. He snapped, and then Vince, not one to let Shawn Michaels get one over him. He flips him off as he stretches out.
Oh, that was great. That was a great shot.
And then this would lead after the God match to the next one would be Vengeance 6, which would be DX versus the Spirit Squad.
That's when Vince McMahon joins the. No, that's the Hell in a Cell after that. And Vince McMahon joins the Big Show Kiss My Ass Club.
That's the final combination of the feud, isn't it? We've covered it in the archives.
And then I think the Spirit Squad get sent to OVW after that, don't they?
Yeah, they get foxed up, don't they?
And then
just Dijkstra
returns a week later.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. The next match then is a World Heavyweight title match.
We missed the most important part of that match, Ross.
What's the most important part of that match?
The streamers from Shawn Michaels' entrance.
Oh, go on.
Stay up in the rafters the full show for this. Can't believe how you noticed it.
I watched wrestling.
I noticed them under the ramp at the final match when it all lifts up.
They're just hanging down the entire time. There's tons of them.
I mean, it wasn't ECW streamers level, was it? And it wasn't where they started getting weapons out later on and they're all covered in streamers.
No, it could have been if there was a hardcore match, I reckon. But they were just literally, it was just there. It's a fire hazard. Anyway.
Tell wherever it is. Tell the venue.
I've got an issue with the
Ulster Arena. Tell them.
I will do.
I've got an issue with the video package for this match.
For Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, Kurt Angle, what's your issue, 2 Piers?
Teddy Long is my issue. I can't change the match.
Careful what you're doing.
I can't change the match at WrestleMania, but I can sure add to it. So you can change it then, Teddy, can't you? Because you're just changing it.
No, he didn't say that. He said Randy Orton would qualify for the title match. He couldn't change that.
Well,
he could add to it.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, I watched that one on SmackDown, but I damn sure can add to it.
I remember that.
It's back in. Whoa.
I was so upset that Rey Mysterio lost to Randy Orton. It's unbelievable. It was the worst day of my life.
Yeah. He cried like.
I think I found it quite funny.
It was an absolute joke. I've still not forgiven Chavo Guerrero for ruining this heavyweight title feud later on. So Mysterio won the Royal Rumble. Orton cheated at No Way Out because he's a scumbag to take his place. He held the ropes.
What was it? Was it like a gimmick match as well, or was it just a one-on-one? I can't remember.
Just a one-on-one. And then Tilo added Mysterio back in because of the cheating. That's why we've got this triple threat. This went 9 minutes. I thought this went a lot longer as a kid.
Do we think did Angle disappear after this for a little bit?
He went to ECW.
He went to ECW, didn't he?
Yeah, because I'm wondering if he was. I didn't know if maybe his neck was playing up, and that's why it only went 9 minutes.
I'm pretty sure for 90% of Kurt Angle's run in WWE, his neck was hurting him.
Well, yeah.
Well, he won the Olympics who broke a freaking neck, Ross. Did you know?
Yeah, so I bet.
With a head cold as well.
Yeah. Mysterio gets blooded in then by POD.
It's an odd entrance.
It took a while, didn't it?
I don't mind it taking a while because I love the big entrances at WrestleMania and everyone going mental. It was just weird that it was like he popped out. I was like, "Way!" I mean, it is actually. I've done my normal entrance, but I'm going to go back into a big one. Strange. Yeah. And he turned up on the roof.
I'll be honest.
In a headdress.
I'll be honest. This isn't a good WrestleMania for big entrances, is it?
I thought this was a good one. This one. I thought the entrances were good in this one.
No.
Some songs, I think.
Compared to WrestleMania 21, this is really good.
I've got issues with the main event ones as well, but we'll get to those.
Yeah, he's got issues. I just think
like you in the news segment.
I was speaking truth. People can't look. just think some songs aren't meant to be played live.
This isn't one of them.
This is one of them.
The man that's just going booyaka has got the easiest job ever.
You need a hype man.
Yeah.
Every band needs a hype man. What's the point?
It made it feel big, didn't it? Like,
oh, but yeah.
Should have got Mojo Rawley as well.
You got to think that the live entrances are cool, but also they're never that good, are they?
No, that again. I don't know. I just think the song doesn't lend itself. Do you know what I mean? To be played live.
He was up there with the band in his headdress and stuff.
Yeah, the head. I don't know why the headdress. Whatever.
Traditional.
They were two were just all right entrances, weren't they?
I got bloody loads of pyro.
Yeah, but just WrestleMania pyro, wasn't it?
It was right above the crowd as well. I was like, bloody hell! Guys on the front row just getting covered in.
He was like, bloody hell! Watch out for the streamers.
Yeah, watch out for the streamers. They're probably gonna have more, but the streamers gonna set on fire.
Good job, China on there shooting the cannon, wasn't
it? Oh my days! Well, John Cena got lucky in the main event.
We're not far off that.
We'll get there. So then this match was all right. It was just very fast pace.
My favourite moment is Rey Mysterio flying from the double German suplex.
Yeah,
literally from like one corner front to the other.
That's a good spot.
That's absolutely incredible.
Fair
play to Randy Orton as well for managing to take a move and deliver the other one at the same time with enough power to launch Rey Mysterio like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to present a counterpoint to you both here. This match, shit. I'll tell you why.
And here's why.
Yeah, here's why. Because Rey Mysterio won the title, right? Could they have made him look like a bigger geek and win it? He tapped out.
Yeah, he did.
Kurt Angle won the match twice.
Kurt Angle's got to look strong on him.
This guy wasn't even meant to be in the match. He lost his qualifier to I know Randy Orton cheated, but it was like everyone cheats all the time, like to do that. Like literally, can you name an episode of Raw or SmackDown where that doesn't happen?
I'm going to be quite controversial what I'm about to say.
And it just so they made him like a complete geek. He wins it by a fluke. And like that's fine if that's the storyline, the fans are into it. But the fans weren't into it at this point, even though
wasn't the start of the match, weren't they? It wasn't the start, and then
but they were all kind of booing him by the end.
They went to Angle, yeah.
And it's just like because Angle won it fair and square, and Rey Mysterio tapped out.
I didn't realize.
I have Randy Orton tap out by all means, but not Rey Mysterio.
I'm going to say something quite controversial. Not a fan of this Rey Mysterio title run.
I don't think that's controversial. I think everyone thinks it's shit.
It wasn't the best. That could be more correct.
That's fine. It's only because I've said it before on this podcast.
Same thing is controversial. The sky is blue.
Stone Cold was a big wrestling star.
The only reason I'm saying it is I thought you two were going to probably have a go at me for that, because when I mentioned it last time, I didn't like the way they just leached off the whole Eddie Guerrero thing. I told Ray to get his own family.
No, but you didn't wrong about that because it was quite soon.
Yeah, but just let it. Do you know what?
Oh yeah, no, that bit I liked. I thought you meant the fact that they just made Mysterio like a complete geek.
He did. He lost like his first 5 matches as a champion.
I just think like there's no need to give Rey Mysterio the title because his friend died.
I think he would have got it anyhow. I don't think he would.
But they did change the name of the championship after this, didn't they? To just
the World
Champion.
Championship, and he's got it. Yeah. No, I like that storyline. I think they went far too hard on it. Like the actual.
They didn't need Orton saying.
If you just watch his pay-per-view, it's fine. But it's like Eddie's in hell and he set fire to one of his cars and like.
Yeah.
You don't need that. Just I'm going to win the title for my mate. There you go. That's all you need. Like WWE a lot of controversial stuff as we discussed on the show already. But the worst thing that they do by all means is just like you don't have to mention fucking people dying all the time. Like you didn't. You know, like Natalia when Jim Neidhart died, and then like 2 weeks later, there's like a fucking table with Jim Neidhart that she's going through. What? And you've got Paige talking about Charlotte's brother. You've got fucking. There's definitely Paul Bearer, the CM Punk storyline.
Yeah,
That didn't need that. CM Punk, I want to beat the Undertaker streaks on the best in the world. There you go. There's your story.
Yeah,
just.
They can't help themselves.
Jim Ross goes in hospital and Vince is fucking pulling. I don't know what it is, like boots out his collar or something. Like just there's some stuff that you just don't need to touch. Like I like real elements coming into it every now and again.
Yeah.
But just fucking hell, it's just too much at times. Like you don't have to. It's like they can't help themselves. Like someone's died. Like we need to do it.
One. You know when Rey Mysterio had that accident in the ring and the man died.
Yeah.
And they kept mentioning on commentary like the week after the same injury that guy had. A couple of weeks later, they kept mentioning that someone had suffered the same thing. You just think, just give it a rest.
They do it with head injuries and everything, don't they? They turn it into the X, throwing the X up becomes a spot, so throwing the X up doesn't actually.
Yeah, like even what they call the Owen Hart voice now. They kind of do too much now. It's like, when it's kind of, they'll make it sound real and do a somber voice and stuff. They do it
all the time.
They do that far too much now, yeah. And then the heel commentator does it as well, which it seems to me well. But yeah, I just don't like it. It's just, I think this won the most disgusting promotional tactic, didn't it? Of the classic award from Dave Meltzer's the Wrestling Observer.
Oh,
he won the last 2 years by Saudi Arabia.
But the match itself,
fair enough on that as well.
Yeah. I thought was all right. Basically, Mysterio reverses an angle slam into an arm drag. Then he hits a 619 on Randy Orton and a West Coast pop to win.
And we see young Dominic as well.
Yeah. I mean, I love this thing, but I was 11.
Yeah, like, I thought it was... It was obviously well wrestled because you've got like 3 of the most talented performers of all time in there.
Yeah,
but I just didn't like the story. Like they put an angle over huge, which I get because if you're going to build, the plan was to build ECW around him, so it makes sense. But Rey Mysterio shouldn't have been tapping out before. No. Within like, what was that, like 5 minutes into the match?
Yeah,
like it shouldn't. I think that was the bit that I just didn't like. I completely forgot that happened from watching it, so I probably didn't even notice as a kid. I was like, yeah, Rey Mysterio's won. But when you look at it now, it's just like I could see why the fans turned on him
because Angle looked like a beast.
Yeah, and he just made it like a geek, and Angle won it twice, like not once, twice.
Kurt Angle's last match was in August of this year before he moved to TNA.
Yeah,
well, he wanted a good place, was he, when he moved?
No,
so.
Probably wasn't a good place now, was it?
No.
But months before No Way Out, he had incredible series of matches with Undertaker.
Yeah, and I think he said in his podcast recently that he wanted to do another one. They wanted that No Way Out match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, this felt like Angle's just there. Like, he's not part of the story.
Yeah, because he happened to be champion time. Well, to put it in context, I think Batista got injured at the beginning of the year, didn't he?
Yeah, he
Angle
won
moved across to win
the Battle Royal.
To win the Battle Royal, yeah.
Because it was his debut. Because I remember being so annoyed that Rey Mysterio didn't win it then.
Yeah, because I remember the WWE is one of the first times they spoiled SmackDown on purpose on it. Because SmackDown used to be taped on a Tuesday, go out on a Friday, and I think it was one of the first times they announced like, "Oh, Kurt Angle's won the championship."
Yeah,
I don't find out.
It wasn't a bad match. 9 minutes.
No, it wasn't a bad match. I just thought the storyline just didn't like.
Just needed a bit longer, I thought.
Yeah, it was weird. They only got 9 minutes.
Yeah, 9 minutes is fine as well because there's a lot of action. Just don't make your new babyface champion tap out. Like
I said, I don't remember Rey Mysterio getting booed actually. Don't remember that.
Well, he was cheered at the start and then booed at the end. Yeah. Probably because the mid Angle looks so good. So you want Angle to win because he's just absolutely destroying everyone.
Yeah. And he had the best entrance. Those fireworks of fire.
Yes. Well, hopefully not too much fire.
Not too much fire. Those bloody streamers. I can't believe you didn't notice them though. They're hanging from the in front of the stage. The entire time, just streamers everywhere. Streamers for days.
Streamers everywhere. Jesus Christ.
Streamer mania.
Twitch.tv/Bell Nation.
Oh, for God's sake.
Twitch.tv/WrestlingAround.
It's just wrestling around.
It's just wrestling. You don't even know. You don't even know your own.
So the Wrestling Around Wrestling Federation Weekly Wednesdays Wrestling.
Twitch.tv/WrestleRound.
What is that in WWE?
It's the show's just going to be called WWW, I think. That's the
WWW double.
Yeah, Wrestling Around Wrestling Federation Weekly Wednesday Wrestling.
Oh, God.
Easy to I think.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Wrestling Around
Twitch.tv/WrestleRound.
WAWFWW champion.
Weekly Wednesday Wrestling. No, this
Weekly Wednesday.
Weekly Wednesday Wrestling is the show, and then the promotion is Wrestling Around Wrestling Federation. Like, how it's difficult to come
Weekly Wednesday Wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestling Around
Wrestling Federation, obviously.
Federation. So the WWWWAF.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Quadruple WAF.
Yeah.
Weekly Wednesday Wrestling.
Well, there's rumours that they might be starting a second show on a Sunday. But
split the roster.
Yeah.
Brand split.
To be confirmed.
Is that KFC champion?
Henchman Sundays.
What are you going to do on Survivor Series? Or Wrestling Around Series?
I don't even know at this point. What is the new game going to let us do?
I'm excited for the new game.
I'm excited.
I'm very excited. I've been more excited if Samoa Joe's on it. But it's
it might be.
Got to create him, mate.
They may come back, isn't it?
Yeah, hopefully, just like from my point of view now, hopefully they keep the chicken and gorilla costume on the Great Wrestler Suite. That's going to ruin me.
Oh, what would we do if we did a big metal gorilla?
Exactly.
Is there going to be a Joseph DeBird?
Ross, you know, the birds might come, the DeBird family.
Well,
They're like the
Bird.
Von Erich, they're like the Von Erich family.
They could join the old
The birds.
Mick Foley and Kane and all the trio champions.
God's sake, we have to do that now. More tiles for days.
Every match is a title.
Yeah.
Anyhow, moving on. Enough of that. We'll discuss that at the end. We've got John Cena and Triple H. They're shown backstage because they've got their big title match coming up. I don't know if you know this, but John Cena needs to win because he's one of the only few people to listen to hip hop in Massachusetts. So
what was that about?
He had an ad life.
What was that about?
What the fuck was Jim Ross talking about the entire time, to be honest?
It's like Cena,
hip hop in Massachusetts.
They're just trying to say like Cena's had a hard life because he was like one of the 3 people into hip hop.
It's a hard not life for John.
Oh, it's just ridiculous. I get the rapping gimmick, but it's stopped. It was more than that at this point.
It was more because Jim Ross forgot what he was saying. He went, it's new school versus tradition. Then he went, it's hip hop, if you will, versus tradition. I was like, okay, cheers, Jim Ross. And then they hype up the entire match, and then all of a sudden, can Playboy Bunnies come out? What's going on, Ross?
Yeah, well, they do. And then the next match.
God.
This is a Playboy pillow fight. It's Tori Wilson versus Candice Michelle. So we've seen on last week's show how Trish Stratus versus Mickie James was like a new era of wrestling. It was like, a good women's wrestling match. Probably, at this point in time, the best women's match of all time. And what do we follow it up with? 2 people fighting over the cover girls, I guess. It's just... What I did find interesting about this, the only thing, is Tori Wilson had Michelle McCool's music.
Yes, I noticed that.
It's a thing. That's a thing, apparently, isn't it?
Lillian Garcia's had it as well.
They recycle them quite a lot, especially the women's ones.
Yeah. Tori Wilson won in 3 minutes with a roll-up. See if they got anything to add. Tori Wilson,
I've got something to add.
Go on. Great. Have you wrote most notes about this match?
No, awful commentary. No, I just picked up the awful bit of commentary.
That would be classic Terry Peters. Go on, Peters.
Pervy JR and Pervy King, not Pervy King Ross, Jesus, Pervy...
The King?
Jerry Lawler.
Jerry Lawler. Great. That was almost difficult, wasn't it?
Complaining about... saying they can always wrestle in bra and panties for them too. Horny JR needs to go to horny jail back in 2006 like he does in 2021.
It's just... Right. In the Attitude Era, I can sort of get it because it was all over TV, wasn't it? Scantily clad women and all that. But 2006, it wasn't acceptable then. I don't know when they stopped. When did they stop doing brown panties matches? Like 2008, 2009?
Yeah, whenever the HD era hit, whenever they went PG.
They went PG 2008, I think.
Yeah. 2008, which is far too long for that kind of crap.
But at this point, they had a legit deal with Playboy, didn't they?
Yes, everyone. Yeah, there was a new cover star every year, wasn't there?
Yeah, and they always had the women's title match after this for a couple of years, I think. That was the thing.
It was rubbish, wasn't it? Just rubbish.
Yeah, it just looked like... I just felt bad for those guys. What was also weird was that Candice Michelle was wearing the same attire the entire match. And she lost, and she was like, shit, what am I doing? And then she just kind of wrapped up in the covers. But it's not a brown panties match. Anyway.
It was a Playboy Bunny pillow fight.
Yeah, no, but I was like, all of a sudden, the bell rang, and she was like, hang on a minute, what am I doing out here? Like this, I better cover up. But
yeah, I don't know.
I
don't know. These are the same.
Those guys. You could look on Candice Michelle's face. Was like, what are we doing? What am I doing here?
Yeah.
When she came out, like, yeah.
It gets better for women for the last.
They gotta pay them.
Yeah, that's still a good thing, isn't it? The main event then, Triple H versus John Cena for the WWE Championship. John Cena is the champion.
Tradition.
Yeah. New school versus tradition. John Cena versus tradition. Everything versus tradition.
Yeah, I thought John Ross really buried Cena. Right? He really fed into what the internet fans were saying.
Cena?
Well, he was because he kept saying.
He brought up the important facts that Cena was one of the only few people in Massachusetts listening to hip hop.
Yeah, but the whole point of why fan sentiment was getting against Cena at this point was because he couldn't wrestle. And JR was just like, yeah, no, he can't, can he? So Triple H is going to wrestle him. It was just I just thought Jim Ross was a bit weird tonight.
Yeah. But then he just come back.
Back into it. This is his return, but yeah, he was just making some points where I was like, okay, I don't know if that's the point.
Yeah, but to be fair, it was Edge who fully favored the stereotype of John Cena not being able to wrestle.
Yeah, strange, isn't it? And then obviously Triple H now by doing baby face to follow way through the match. So it was just,
that's just Triple H was in the click, and as we discussed before, the click with the West Wings happened to wrestle.
No.
But the click of the reason kayfabe's not a thing anymore. But where you've got these tweeners and grey areas.
Oh, we'll find out. I mean, I think Kevin Nash is making his WWE debut soon. So
lovely chap.
WWF debut.
Yeah.
Genuinely thought I was wearing a Paul London t-shirt once, Kevin Nash.
Did. It was actually Brian Kendrick. That was what was weird about
it. It was Finn Balor. She said London on it.
Yeah.
What is that shirt you're wearing?
Is it Paul London?
It's him, it's Paul London. No, not Paul London. Finn Balor, don't he?
It's Finn Balor. And he went, I thought it was Paul London.
Classic.
Genuine conversation I've had with Kevin Nash.
Like 3 years later, you slagged him off on a podcast. What's going on? Buried him.
He gets the business. Yeah. Triple H said, this is the match of big entrances. Triple H has a Conan the Barbarian entrance. Was this the debut of King of Kings?
I think
so. Around this time.
I still have an original WrestleMania 22 King of Kings t-shirt downstairs.
There you go. Get it. Put it on.
No, I'm not getting my nipple out.
I
don't know where it is. To be fair, I don't know where it is. It's bagged up somewhere. We've still not bought a wardrobe because everything's been shut.
It's classic JP, isn't it? Living out of bags.
I
bags.
I think it's something like 3 years to buy a proper wardrobe since when I moved into my flat.
So you have a wardrobe though?
Yeah, it was one of those old canvas ones.
It was my old canvas one.
Yeah, it was your old canvas one.
Yeah, we got
leaning against the wall.
We got given one of those this week when we've been using a rail. But that's another story for now.
How long have you been in Peter's Palace now?
6 weeks.
You
still got over 2 years and
I got
5 or 6 weeks.
Furniture shops have only just opened this week.
I get it online. Everyone shops online.
We want to see it before.
Nah, just buy it online.
No, get IKEA packs. It'll sort you out.
I've done that before, but
it's great.
Yeah, design it yourself.
We want to see it before. So. I'll do it.
Get IKEA, have a good time.
Right, my problem with this entrance is
go on, Peters.
2 starts to the music.
Yeah, it's weird.
Not needed.
What do you mean? Is because the King of Kings then it goes into the game?
Yeah, just debut new music.
Yeah, well, he had this thing, didn't he?
He had a big Thor hammer as well.
Yeah, the Conan the Barbarian.
I don't mind the Conan.
That was relevant. Was there a new film? There's a new Conan the Barbarian film.
There was, and also I don't know if it was because of this entrance, but before Chris Hemsworth was kind of got the role of Thor, like Triple H was genuinely being considered for it, which would have been.
It was 2011.
Very different. Yeah,
and it bombed at the box office. I've just had a look.
2011, so it was 5 years after this. So there was nothing in 2006 to do with Conan the Barbarian.
It's got Jason Momoa in it.
Visionary.
There you go.
Just before his time, wasn't he?
Got Jason Momoa in it.
Yeah. But yeah, Triple H was genuinely being considered to play Thor. It would have been a different story because he's older, obviously.
Or plot twist, it was K-Dog the Barbarian.
An actual Conan.
Yeah.
You're a fucking strawberry. Just like
that'd be a very different film.
But yeah, that was my issue with this entrance is it had two starts to the music.
I feel like both of these entrances were just like there was 2 entrances.
Yeah, I don't like the second one either.
Well, I watched this.
We'll come to that.
I watched Triple H's and I wasn't sure if it was cool or not because no one told me.
I like
Michael Cole wasn't there to tell me it was cool.
How cool was that? No,
classic.
I quite like this as an entrance, to be fair, with his big throne. It would get destroyed by Cody Rhodes some years later.
Well, because they're not bothered. But
I
like WrestleMania.
With his little King of Kings, his massive King of Kings belt as well.
I prefer King of Kings to the game.
Yeah.
I just think it's better. And do you know what? I prefer
you got both here, so...
I prefer Triple H's music before. The one disarm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought that made it seem like a...
Well, I think like the King of Kings has been now taken by
Mervyn King.
the bass player.
No, I thought you meant Mervyn King, former leader of the Bank of England.
Oh yeah, that guy as well. He comes out to dinner at his conferences and that. So it's really
every time he walks into a meeting, that just appears.
Yeah.
Don't say it too loud, because Boris Johnson will genuinely start coming out to that.
But I think this is probably the best big entrance of the night. I thought you'd pause then. That was a long pause for me.
I was trying to think what I was going to say now.
I think this is the best live entrance of the three.
Well, I'm trying to find some information about the next entrance, but I can't find anything. So just
what for who they are?
Yeah,
apart from the one that everyone knows about.
Yeah,
fair enough.
So I'm just going to make them up when we get to that point. Anyway, Ross, what happens next?
Yeah, go on. Is he actually frozen?
Is Ross frozen? Ross is gone.
All right, okay.
I think Ross is gone. Even though I was just really, really thinking about what's going on. Right, okay, so
right, well.
So what happens next is John Cena. John Cena comes out. Where's Ross gone?
He's gone. Right. Gone. So
we're still recording. We'll just
play. Want to take over hosting duties?
Yeah. So obviously,
right, we're doing the hot tag for hosting duties to keep it nice.
So next what happens is Ross is gone. Can he get back in?
I don't know. Let me...
Yeah, you messaged
He's not put a message. Right, we'll carry on. I'll carry on.
So
also,
then we see
while he's not here, he's very wrong about the Iconics. I feel very sorry for them, and they are definitely needed. Carry on.
Yeah, I agree. So we see a short film of the history of Chicago and the gangsters from around the Prohibition area. Just after that, was it?
Yeah. It was to do with the Great Depression of Chicago, wasn't it?
Yeah, Great Depression, Prohibition. I think it was around the same time.
20s, 30s, something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, around that time. Gangsters, Al Capone and the other one. Al Capone, Al Pacino, all those guys. They came out. They didn't come out. And then, here he is. He's back in now. Where is he? Let's get him back in.
We'll carry on.
Yeah, and then after that, the stage lifts up again, as we've seen for... JBL's entrance. It happens again.
I don't know what happened there.
We've segued. We're pretending it never happened. Just join in.
Join in. Lou's taking over.
A traditional gangster car comes out. And what do we see? The gangsters come out. Not the gangsters from ECW, but just general Chicago gangsters.
With Tommy guns.
CM Punk.
Charles Montgomery Punk is the main one, isn't he?
He's the main one. They focus on him a lot. And I think there's a few fans on the front row notice him. He's like, oh, fucking hell, because this one guy just gets his phone out, like, shit. Is
he in FCW at this point, or OVW, whatever?
Yeah, he's in
Logan.
Yeah, he makes his debut not long after this, I think.
I didn't know some of them were maybe local talents. Obviously, it's in Chicago, and that's where he's from.
Yeah,
as well,
so apparently it was because Paul
Heyman
Heyman thought he was going to be a big star. He just wanted to get used to an arena or something. So he was like, oh, you should be one of them.
I seem to remember at the time sort of saying, we picked out that you were like, why are they focused on that guy so much? Like, cause it seemed odd, didn't it, that he was like the main one that they focused on. And he had the best acting of them all, because some of them are atrocious.
Yeah, so the other guys in there were Victor from the Ascension.
Is he the bigger?
Chuck Palumbo.
Which one's Victor?
Tucker was in there.
You're making this up, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm making them all. I can't find them both. I said I'd do it.
Palumbo had already been tag team champion at this point.
And Sting was the one that really got me surprised.
Whoa. Yeah. Sting from the Police as well.
That's the rest of it exclusive. Yeah, Sting was there in the background.
The worst one was the one in like the brown suit where he's walking around like scowling, like with his head like doesn't.
Yeah, I'm sure I recognised a couple of them. They probably did pop up. Well, they will have all been developmental wrestlers as well.
Yeah. But I thought the acting of that one in particular in the brown suit that goes round. Sort of as you look at the ring from the ramp, he goes round the left in front of the Spanish commentary team. He's like scowling and pulling, like scrunching up his face. I thought he looked terrible. It didn't make any sense to me though what it's got to do with John Cena.
It's just a Chicago thing, isn't it?
I suppose. Did they have hip hop back in the 20s in Massachusetts? If then it all makes sense.
I think it just gets him on side, doesn't it? Because he's had the next year he drove a car on Detroit.
He did the Babe Ruth one, didn't he?
The Babe Ruth one in New York was the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
I don't remember.
And then at WrestleMania 24, he got played by the local college band, didn't he? To the ring.
Oh, is that what that one was?
Yeah.
Which was one where there was loads of Cenas.
And they're not even in time. Like, one's doing that and then the other one's... Yeah, that was... I mean, I know it's hard to sync that up, but...
Yeah, it was 25, that one.
Yeah,
but no, I mean, it was a bit weird how the gangsters came out and then the entrance started.
What made me laugh was the bloody music. But again, two starts to music. But the classic sort of Bugsy Malone style music.
Yeah. I thought it was quite cool.
I like the main event should have big entrances.
I think they all should, especially when you're in arenas, because there's not much, like, obviously,
Now they're in stadiums. It's
when they're in
different.
outdoor stadiums, like it's just so easy in it because you have a big boat. You have the arenas, don't you? The stadiums most
A
of the time.
dilapidated boat.
It's just like massive fireworks, and it always looks cool. You know when you do the fireworks around the edge of the stadium, that always looks cool. I love how they do that even when it's a dome stadium, like New Orleans.
It's sad that we didn't get to see
Dallas.
that.
Yeah, it's weird that it happened.
The roof was closed,
but we just didn't see it.
It's on the TV, yeah.
It's on the TV, like, but
you know it's happening above you, but it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even at Madison Square Garden, they did it once. I'm sure they did. Like they did fireworks outside Madison Square Garden.
I just started thinking of Tyson Fury when he had I think he must have used the pyro budget for 3 years.
Yeah, they're insane. No, sorry, shows out for pyro.
You can do what they want, can't they? Cena then is booed. The crowd is very, very.
Do you know why I think he was booed?
Aye.
Because he was wearing, the gangster outfit, but they still had his shorts on. And
it looked weird.
Ridiculous.
It didn't go with what he's.
Yeah, have you ever seen early Cena wrestle in trousers?
Yeah, well, I'm going to advocate now.
Weird.
I know, I'm going to advocate now. I think I could have solved all his issues.
Him in pants.
Rip-offs.
Well.
Zip-offs. Bring them back. Bring them back for all of us.
Yeah.
I've got another issue as well.
Piers.
No, people are wearing them. I agree.
He shut down China's big rocket launcher bazooka thing into a Tommy gun, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. China wasn't using it.
But it was cool when that fired, to be fair. That was. But he's trying to cover it up. You can see the top of the gun out the top of the coat, man.
Yeah, and he had to be careful as well because obviously those bloody streamers.
There's loads of streamers. He didn't know, did he? When he practiced that earlier on, the streamers
don't catch them on fire.
But he is heavily booed at this point, isn't
he? Yeah, this is.
Everyone hates him. The title, it's 21, wasn't it? So he'd been in the main event picture for a year or so.
Yeah. I think the notice started happening because obviously Kurt Angle does that infamous promo about like he could say anything and they would still cheers John Cena. That's earlier this year. But apparently, I think it was maybe on the Stone Cold podcast or something, but Cena said the crowd reaction was getting more mixed. But I think he inducted Refrigerator Perry into the Hall of Fame the night before.
Yeah.
And he just came out and he just got booed like consistently, and he was just like, fuck, okay, like this isn't gonna be easy.
I think that's the first where we've had this podcast.
I'm sure I've swore before.
I don't think
the only reason I say that is I was looking through the other day. We didn't swear in any of the WrestleMania 37 ones.
Didn't need to.
And every other one's got an explicit E next to it. But carry on.
Oh no, that'll be because I forgot to turn it on. Then I should probably do that before we get banned.
Yeah.
It's an option I have to pick when I upload it.
I thought they listened to it.
Ready to get kicked out?
Oops. Yeah, I will. I'll go back and edit that one. Apologies for anyone who's let the kids listen to it.
Admin Markham there.
If you like letting your kids listen to this, sort your priorities out.
Yeah.
Kids don't need to listen to this. So the actual match then, it goes 22 minutes because it's a Triple H WrestleMania match. Of course it goes the longest.
I just realised I forgot to do star matches for the last two matches.
Oh, get them in.
Do you want to do them now, Peters?
So,
get on with it.
Rey Mysterio is 3.5, and the Tori Wilson and Candice Michelle was dud. Go.
5 stars because Big Dave's a perv.
So better than Randy Orton versus The Fiend.
and better than the Boogeyman and Charmel.
Yeah, there we go.
Come on, Dave. Come on.
Right, anyway, carry on.
The Boogeyman and Charmel was shit, but that was...
So this is the second highest rated match on the card.
You know what, it was all right. Maybe I've just got a short attention span.
It's long.
You have to keep my attention. Like the main event we saw on Sunday at 37, 25 minutes, wasn't it? Kept my attention all the way through. This was just points was a bit boring.
The thing is, a Triple H match is pretty methodical, isn't it? He'll never come out the blocks.
Slowest man in the world, isn't he?
He'll never come out the blocks. To me, for Triple H to come out the blocks, he would need to do like a running knee to the face, straight away. You know, like or maybe a spine buster or something, or jumping knee where he puts the face on the knee and jumps down. You know, something like that.
A face buster, if you will.
That's the one, a face buster. But it's always a lock-up in it. That's how he always starts his matches. So in Triple H's WrestleMania contract, it goes length 20 minutes plus, first move, lock-up.
I don't mind the lockup though, because it is a big match and there's got to be a feeling out process and it makes it feel bigger. But we should speed up.
I think this one, the feud lent itself to lockup because it was more like a sporting feud. This one, like who's the I think the one that really annoys me is it Randy Orton where it's got that blood feud and they start with a lockup.
What I'm more meaning is every match is like this. Some matches it works and I agree. This one it does, but not every match needs to go to that same method of.
Yeah, because I think
we'll start.
Considering Triple H is probably, I think Triple H has appeared at the most WrestleMania, is that right? Of any wrestler,
probably. Taker.
Maybe Taker's the other one, but maybe it's the most. Is it the most consecutive or something? Triple H one. But he's not really had that many good matches, has he?
No, and he wants one.
Was it 11 in a row? Because it mentions about Bret Hart.
Yeah, you mentioned it, didn't it? He was going to beat Bret Hart, and obviously...
and obviously they're not going to have that anymore.
No, he didn't, because he missed the next year because he was injured, actually. So he won't be it, yeah.
He wants a good match. His only good matches have been with Taker.
He's had 2 with Undertaker, yeah.
But the thing is, he did the whole thing with Seth Rollins, where he desperately wants the best match on the card, and he just really had it.
As well. You know, in the build-up about this, obviously, it was hip-hop versus tradition. They're all going Triple H was raised and comes from is that right that he's like well off as a before? I know he obviously is now, but like he comes from a well-off background. Is that right? Or is
he not just from an affluent area of America?
Is that what it is? Because like I say, obviously he was the blue blood, wasn't he, when he started, and he was obviously like a.
He's Greenwich. He's from Greenwich, isn't he?
Greenwich, yeah.
I think Greenwich is I don't know if he's actually from there, but that is like meant to be a nice area. I think
that was the only reason.
It's like a rich suburb outside of New York City. Isn't it?
That was the only reason I asked, because, like I say, they just kept mentioning it, so I didn't know if that was actually a thing.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was just a play on his old John Paul Levesque days.
Neshoeha, New Hampshire, apparently.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now.
Yeah.
Apparently, once upon a time, he was built from Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, so the place he was from has been named twice as the best place to live in America by Money Magazine. So it was...
Right.
Fair enough. Answers your question.
Yeah. Well, once as well, it says build from here, Boston, Massachusetts. So him and Cena might have been having a little hip hop once upon a time.
No, because Triple H wasn't one of the 3 people listening to hip hop in Massachusetts.
Oh, sorry, he was one of the ones having tradition, wasn't he? In Boston, Massachusetts, Greenwich, Connecticut, and then somewhere in France.
As the John Paul Levesque.
Église. Yeah, must be. Yeah. Anyway, so
there we go.
It was just something that was in my mind.
Yeah, the match itself then is a back and forth.
As we said, it's quite a methodical match, isn't it?
Triple H, low blow, Cena, and the ref.
That Mike Chioda, what a champ for taking the blow to the plums.
Yeah. Play the ref bar.
Ref bump, plum blow.
Triple H then gets his sledgehammer out. He uses it. Cena kicks out with 2.
That was a close call. There was a couple of really good near falls there.
Triple H then kicks out with an FU at 2. And
that was the other one, wasn't it?
Yeah, Cena reverses a pedigree into an SCFU, and then Triple H taps. Cena retains.
Triple H looks like a bit of a geek for tapping.
I hate the SDFU.
I
hate that stupid feud.
He's about to touch the ropes and then he taps out.
Yeah, it was like a feud. It was Angle and somebody else, where they had submissions and Cena needed one. It was a submissions match.
Yeah, that's what it was, wasn't it? Because Cena didn't have one, and that's how they thought they were going to win the title.
Yeah,
against Angle, and then he pulls out the STF.
Yeah, but didn't really get it cinched in as he is.
That's crap.
But I thought this match was quite good. I liked it. It was like
it was alright. Yeah.
Again, it was just I think the story was just who's the better wrestler on it.
Yeah.
So I liked it. It was a good sparring contest. I think the crowd. I don't know. I know
the crowd were very split for it, weren't they?
Yeah, it was the start of like crowds just booing like every big baby face. I think at this point,
yeah,
it's going to have 15 years now. But because it was quite split, it made it for a good atmosphere. Yeah. I thought it was like a good sparring contest.
Big Dave gave it 3 3/4.
That's about right, I think. Yeah, it was the best match on the card, but
the
there was no
match
on
the card were Money in the Bank and Edge and Mick Foley, which is right, and then this was the second best.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I quite enjoyed it as a main event. I thought the ending was weird because I thought Triple H is too close to the ropes. Yeah,
well, like I say, it makes him look like a bit of a geek because he's literally about to touch it and then he taps out. To me, he should have done it maybe not in the middle of the ring. Because obviously that's quite a big thing, isn't it? But don't make it where like you can literally touch the rope within a second of doing it when you're about to do it and then tap out.
Or pull him back. He's done that loads. He pulls him back.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just get it off and then just pull him back a yard or 2 and then it looks even better, doesn't it?
And then after the match, then they don't do this anymore. But this is one of my favourite bits of it is the ending highlights package.
Two.
Where the 2 different songs. Yeah. They don't do anymore, do they?
No, they just go. They like to go out with a closing shot now, don't they?
Yeah.
I prefer this. Yeah,
I prefer this. To be fair, props to the editors as well for getting them done.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, especially when they put the main event.
That's well, they must obviously do the other ones.
They're doing it as they go along, won't they?
But it's how they managed to pick everything out the matches as well to start with. It's
yeah.
I've always thought that was pretty mind blowing that they get it done so quick and get it ready and uploaded to wherever it needs to be within seconds, literally seconds.
Yeah, that's.
Which was your favourite song then, Shinedown or Big Time?
As a theme, Big Time, but as an actual song, the Shinedown one.
I can't remember Shinedown, so I'm just going to say Big Time.
I didn't really like the Big Time one back in the day, but you know what? I found myself toe tapping to it this morning.
Yeah.
So...
Terry toe tap.
I was listening to ABBA Gold at work yesterday. So
ABBA?
Yeah.
It's got some bangers.
Yeah, well, it was decent, to be fair.
I'm willing to
For a man that's been critical of ABBA previously, it was quite the total.
I'm going to be critical of ABBA. They just got absolute bangers.
I know that now.
The only critical thing of ABBA, one of them married their own stalker.
I thought you were going to say one of them married their own son.
No.
Yeah, for some reason I thought you were going to say that.
What is wrong with you two?
It's the way that you started saying it.
Yeah.
So
marrying your own stalker is pretty weird. Do you know what I mean?
If it's not as weird as marrying your own son, though. So
no, but that didn't happen. I just want to stress that right now. Nobody in ABBA married, or maybe they haven't, I didn't realise. But to my knowledge, nobody in ABBA married their own son. Christ.
So out of the 3 Manias that we've watched then this year for Wrestling Around Mania, which has been your favourite? So what have we had? We've had this one,
17.
And 17.
17.
I like them all for different reasons. Like,
but if
37,
if you
I
could
like
watch
just
one of these 3 again, you could never watch any other WrestleMania. What would it be?
17.
17.
I would pick this one.
Ooh.
Because one, it just gives me, it's more of those nostalgic feels to me, because this is the first one I watched getting back into wrestling. And I was like really into it. So I remembered all the storylines and like everything that happened before and afterwards. And also, Edge vs. Foley is possibly one of my favourite, if not my favourite matches.
Yeah, I have a feeling that would probably play quite well into yours.
So that's why I've got to.
I think 17. I don't know.
It's weird, isn't it? Because they're all completely different shows. They're all WrestleMania.
But they've all been really good WrestleManias as well.
Yeah, but they're all just completely different now, I think. It's just like 37. It's amazing to see this is only 15 years ago, what an absolute beast WrestleMania is now.
No, it's the biggest. It's got to be one of the biggest events in the world.
Yeah,
it has to be.
Well, City's bid for it now. That they won like back in this one. They just booked it in the arena in Chicago. Like cities are actually bidding for it to come now.
Yeah, because it creates that much money for the local economy, doesn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah,
you get like thousands and like 80,000 people for one thing, plus everything else that it brings. Just so. Like you get all these other companies doing business, so they'll get all the taxi off them, all the other people that they'll attract as well. It's just massive business.
Not AEW though, because that will be piggybacking.
No, I didn't.
Oh wait,
I didn't mean that. But but even like the local indie feds.
Oh, it's there.
But as well, the local indie feds, or the other indie feds, like it'll keep them in business for a year potentially because you've got 80,000 people in one thing.
To do,
for wrestling, and it's like us. When we went to WrestleMania, seeing Kaiju Big Battle. Do you know what I mean? It was just...
You wouldn't go see Kaiju Big Battle on its own.
I want to go see. I want to go see Texas it alone for it.
Yeah, you wouldn't travel for it. If it came to Hull, you'd probably watch it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's what I mean. You wouldn't just necessarily us 3 fly to Texas to watch Kaiju.
I want to go see it again because I want to see it not sleep deprived.
Yeah,
I thought horrendous that night. But again, that's the point I'm making. Like you say, is you wouldn't travel to go watch those shows from England. But because you're there, you think, well, we'll go watch that. Why not? What was it, $20, something like that, $10?
Yeah, it's cheap. It's cheap.
Why not?
For the sake it was cheap.
For the sake of $10, though, and like you say, they get 100 people in over 2 nights, plus all the merch and everything. Oh, sorry, drink and food, whatever they'll get.
Yeah. But no, it's just WrestleMania is just a very special time to be a wrestling fan, isn't it?
We're all having a moment. Yeah.
We're all having a moment, yeah. You have a moment.
It's a year's worth of work, isn't it?
Yeah, someone say, I have a really important point to say about this. It is a year's worth of hard work.
It's always darkest before the dawn. And
fucking hell.
WrestleMania is the dawn.
Oh my God.
How did we not use that in the opening part for all these people who just kind of, starting again? That's a genuinely good point, isn't it? For those guys. Starting before the dawn.
You know what that means, don't you?
Yeah.
Terry Dabber. You're dabbing and no one can see you because this is audio only.
YouTube can, that's fine.
Yeah, give it a score out of 10 then, Terry Peters, and why is it 6.5?
It's not 6.5, actually. I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8?
I'll give it an 8. I think there's a little bit of dross in there, but on the most part, I enjoyed it.
I'd be tempted to give it an 8. There is some shit, but the nostalgia factor for me bumps it up. Lou's going to give it a 10 out of that reason.
I was going to give it like a 9.5, but yeah, fuck it, yeah, 10. 10.
Is this as good as Halloween Havoc 95?
It's different.
Is this the pinnacle of wrestling?
Yeah, I mean, Halloween Havoc 95 is a special show for all of us, I believe. But
go watch our tier list if you haven't watched it already.
On YouTube, yeah. The link will be down in the description below.
It's already getting hard to do next year because I'm just putting everything on top tier at the moment. But yeah,
we'll get there.
Good, very enjoyable show for me.
That's good. That's it then. That's the end of WrestleMania season. We finished it now. Sad to come to, but we'll do it again next year. There's loads in there.
We sure will.
It's almost like there's 37 of them.
Yeah, well, there is. Well, more. There's more than 37.
Well, sorry, there'll be 38 next year, won't there?
Well, there'll be 38 next year, and there's 4 in these last 2 years.
Yeah. They're not continuing that next year, which is disappointing. It's back to one night.
Yeah, we're back into the old slog, aren't we?
Don't mind 4 hours, but 5. Come on.
And then with the pre-show when they're back to normal, that's 2 hours.
Yeah,
7 hours, aren't you?
It's too much to watch.
It's a long night, isn't it?
It's not so bad when you're there.
Yeah, as a TV viewer.
At home.
Yeah.
Come on.
As a TV viewer, I think it's a lot better. I mean, I guess you could, but you want to watch them live, don't you? Yeah. Please, WWE, if you're listening to us, I'm sure you are. You always do. Bring back the 2 nights next year, please.
Yeah, it's good. And then you can have the Rumble winners from either night. 2 people get a main event then. Not 2 matches get a main event.
Exactly.
There we are. Next week, we're doing In Your House. I forgot which In Your House
7.
In Your House 7.
In Your House 7. Good friends, better enemies, Ross, is what we're doing.
What's on the card? Are we excited?
Do we know why it's important?
Why?
Well, it's important because it's 25 years this year since the formation of the New World Order.
Oh.
And this show is the last appearances for ResaroundMania and Diesel in the WWF.
There we go.
So it's all starting from this point.
This is it.
So that's the card, yeah. Shawn Michaels versus Diesel is the main event. The Body Donners versus the Godwins, big match.
What year is this? Sorry,
96.
Excellent. We haven't
Vader
done a lot
versus
of wrestling
ResaroundMania
from this era, which is probably a reason why. So
Ultimate Warrior in 1996.
Yeah, he was
Ultimate Warrior.
Did he fight Triple H in this Mania?
Yeah, he will have done Mania before this. He's facing Goldust for the Intercontinental Championship, and then you've got Owen Hart and the Bulldog versus Ahmed Johnson and Jake the Snake Roberts.
Excellent.
There we go. So we haven't done much WWF from that time, have we?
No, we've never done it In Your House. No, we did the Unforgiven In Your House, but this is the old school In Your House where it's like
proper In Your House.
The house. The house is there.
Where Todd Pettingill will be given a house for.
The house is there. So that's I don't know what we're doing the week after.
We'll work it out. We'll get back to you.
We'll figure it out. Well, this will be a surprise. What I can tell you though, for a fact is the new weekly Wrestling Wednesdays
WWF
is on a Wednesday at 7:30. So join us for that.
Tonight, make sure you're there.
What's happening with your Sunday streams then? Is that just...
I don't know. It depends what time I get up to it. Sunday streams. Like,
we'll
see what happens. Like, maybe we'll do like card replays, but we might do that. There's rumors that the Wrestling Federation is starting Sunday Morning Slam, so we'll find out what happens there, won't we?
So you can join us on Wrestle Around there. So Peters, I believe you are also on Twitch.
I'm indeed at twitch.tv/Bell Nation, fighting against the Sunday Morning Slam.
We never clash because never get up in time. Like Sunday Morning Slam normally starts at 12.
You never get raided, have you?
No, I don't. No, that's true.
I tried to raid last night and it didn't work.
Didn't try to raid us.
You weren't streaming last night.
Well, it wouldn't have mattered if it was anyhow.
I'd have cheated on it. But,
he's Bell Nation everywhere. He's also Tiz Pishford, but he's forgot the login details.
Yeah, I have.
Lou, Lou Markham, I guess.
Yeah, I am.
Twitter, you don't like people on your Facebook, do you?
Twitter, Instagram. No, I don't know if it's happened to you guys as well, but I'm getting a bunch of fucking weirdos adding me on Facebook recently that I keep having to reject.
No.
Do you mean Mike Brewer from?
Well, Mike Brewer from Wheeler Dealers, David Seaman was in there.
Are you big time now?
There are people you may know, so I always say I'm a big celebrity now. No, but I just get the fucking weird wrestling fans out of me. It's
because you're always just trolling in comments.
You do troll.
Well, I'm not trolling. Just give my opinions.
It's all right for you to give your opinions, but when I give my opinion earlier in the show.
Well, your opinion's got to be correct on it. So.
My opinion
was correct. My opinion was correct.
My opinions are good. You can find
and
Ross.
Where can we find you, Ross?
Find Ross at M Sidgwick on
These one of the dickheads who are crying.
You can find him at the Ross M.
I am. Thank you, Tay Peters. I am D Ross M. You can find us all wrestling around. Just Google wrestling around.
If you want to know what Ross is doing 6 years ago, then follow his Twitter.
Hey,
why do you even promote that? You don't use it.
I tweeted a year ago.
Right, let's look at Ross's recent tweet, shall we? Right.
We're doing this. Are all along.
No, except we're not. Twitter's cancelled.
I think. Are you unbanned on Twitter to get there?
On what? Oh yeah. I got banned from Twitter for shenanigans. Let's look at Ross's. Right, Ross's actual tweet was his only tweet was just referencing the fact that he'd now joined Twitter with a guy who looks like Bean, our good friend from back home.
That is my only tweet, I think.
It says hashtag no idea how this works, which is proved. I'm tweeting for 7 years in.
And on that note,
still follow him.
Yeah, follow.
Nobody told me how to use it. I was expecting hashtag no idea this, but people click on it and say, mate, this is how it goes.
Fucking click a new tweet, don't you? Like, what's that? It's difficult.
We'll teach you, Ross.
So right. I don't run social media. Anyhow, thank you for joining me, Terry Peters.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Lou.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Join us next week where we finish WrestleMania season and we start in your house day. We're only doing the one, but just next week. In your house, number 7.
Looking for a new podcast to listen to? Here's what we love, courtesy of Acast Recommends.
Join me, Kim Zolciak-Bierman, and my husband, Corey Bierman, for a brand new episode of House of Kim every Wednesday, where we unapologetically share the ups and downs of our unpredictable life with 6 kids that you may have seen on Bravo TV. I have been a parent since I was 18 years old and was a single parent for many, 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 many years. When you become a mother, you'll understand that drive to succeed, that passion. They give you another force behind your body that you'll never understand until you're there. And just like you guys, we are always trying to find a way to inspire and increase positivity in our daily lives. A little something like this.
It's your life. You should live your life, and you should want to live your life to the best and fullest. Do what makes you happy.
Listen to House of Kim on Acast or wherever you get your podcasts.
Acast recommends.